Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne. Here on my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows. Y'all, we gotta talk about OWN's 11 Marriage DC. Okay, this is season, my TV series, season 3, episode 2. Throuple Time. Some of y'all TV say episode 2 or season 2. Is it episode 12? Maybe. I don't know, but I'm gonna go with the season 3, episode 2 is what we're doing over here. Anyway, before we get into it, y'all, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button for me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Okay, make sure you turn your post bell notifications on, the bell notifications. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Share the video where you have to share your content and comment down below. Let me know what y'all thought of this episode. I will say this episode was much better than last week. Y'all know I was not feeling their premiere. It was not that good. I didn't want to go back to that Christmas party from 3 years ago. The thing I did appreciate about this episode that we got some momentum. We got some things handled. We made progress. Carmen was there, and we got to see Lil Jamie. That was actually my favorite part. Anyway, y'all let me know how y'all will rate the episode, what y'all thought of it. Okay, so um, let's get into it. So basically, the episode picks up where they left off with Ashley and Irena hashing out, the whole thing with the Christmas party, and Ashley trying to tell Irena, girl, you should have calmed down. Then I told you it's gonna end up being something else. And Irena was like, when am I gonna be listening to you? Basically, Irena did end up apologizing because they're both talking about how they got hot heads and tempers. Irena said her husband can't even calm her down. So Ashley, you sure not about to calm her down, okay? But I did appreciate Irena saying, you know what? I'm sorry. I was not intending to make you feel bad or make you feel any type of way. I appreciated Irena squashing it and being the bigger person because we know Ashley is too petty and childish to be the bigger person. So I appreciated Irena just stepping up. And I think Irena is older than Ashley as well. So I did appreciate Irena just saying sorry and squashing the whole thing. Um, Ashley says she's gonna be conscious moving forward, and she's like, I didn't want to take the D away and friend. Like, girl, bye. Either somebody your friend or not. Not no friend and friend. Anywho, they worked it out. Irena said she was wondering if there's gonna be a chance for Ashley and Joy to, hash things out. Ashley's like, it don't matter. She tired of trying. She said now Clifton and DJ Quick met up, and Clifton talking about they jealous of her, or actually, the Silvers are jealous of the Petties. Let me say that like that. And so she don't see it happening. She's like, your little friend Joy, I ain't jealous of her with no faux locks and all that. Ashley was talking her trash. Irena said in her comments that she does think there's some. She said Clifton is petty, so she wouldn't put it past him saying something like that. But she does think there's some jealousy there because why would a grown woman come up to her and say, "Oh, I was jealous of you," or "I got upset because you didn't come to me first as a friend, or you weren't being my friend." So Irena's saying like she does think that Ashley has some jealousy of her and Joy's relationship, not of like Ashley being jealous of Clifton and Joy. Now, I agree with Irena. I don't think Ashley is jealous of Clifton and Joy in general. I do think Ashley maybe threatened that Joy is now becoming closer to Irena, and Ashley thought she was about to be Irena's best friend with the D. Okay, not best friend, but y'all know what I mean. Anyway, moving on. Then we get Winter and Joy working out. Okay, y'all know I'm into the working out, so I was interested in that. They was doing the lunges and the weights of it all. And Joy and Winter are catching up. Winter had on her platinum blonde workout wig. I said, come through, Winter. So basically, Joy was just downloading her on everything that happened at the Christmas party, letting her know that she got kicked out. Winter said, oh, she been kicked out too. So they like, welcome to the club. They both got kicked out by Ashley. And so Joy is explaining to her what happened after. Winter said she didn't even get an invite to the Christmas party, but she heard about it. And so Joy was telling her how Ashley basically told the whole big secret of her already being married to Clifton. And Winter's like, yeah, that's not right. And how she barely got to be in the party like 5 minutes. And Ashley over there saying that, if it wasn't for her, she wouldn't even be on the show and all that stuff. And Winter was just looking shocked in the face. And Joy was like, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. That's how my face was looking, girl. So anyway, Joy was like, you did warn me about her. Winter was like, yeah, well, I tried, to say, because sometimes you can't read her, you can't tell what's going on with her. And Joy was like, it's too exhausting. She said, like, I haven't been in high school in 27 years. I'm about to be 43, you 41, she 42, however old they are. They are giving early 40s, right? And so she said, I don't want to go back to high school. We not doing all that. All right. So then moving on, we do see Clifton meeting up with Carmen. Now, y'all remember Carmen from Ready to Love? Carmen used to have me hollering because Carmen was always up to some shenanigans on that Ready to Love Potomac season. So I was like, okay, here comes Carmen. I already know Carmen about to show up and show out this season. She about to be a fool, okay? Carmen, I had a love-hate for Carmen because Carmen would be cutting up dead wrong. And she just did it so well, no apologies, right? Where she used to get into a PO. And I was like, where PO? Where Donovan? Bring them all back. Okay, let them all get a cameo this season, Carlos. Anyway, so then Carmen is meeting up with Clifton. And so they're talking about their time together on Ready to Love. Now, mind you, we've already seen Carmen on the show. So I feel like this was like an official introduction to Carmen. Maybe that they didn't fully introduce. Well, I feel like the first part of this season, or last season, we should say, it was more about Joy and Carmen. And this time we're seeing the relationship between Clifton and Carmen. So they're talking about how they met on Ready to Live and their first date at the pizza place. You know how Carmen used to be doing all the menu windows, and Clifton did too. And then Clifton talking about, yeah, you was my second choice. You had a connection also, but it didn't work out. But we still have a connection. First of all, you're with Joy now. Y'all still don't have no connection. That part pissed me off. Secondly, real tea is he had more of a connection with Dakia. Y'all remember that? For my Ready to Love people. He had more of a connection with Dakia than he did Carmen. Like, he liked Carmen, but they didn't really show. I mean, they didn't really show it on the show, but much of a connection between Clifton and Carmen. It was more about Clifton, Dakia, and Clifton and Joy. But anyway, I mean, whatever. So then they talking about, the whole beer business thing. And he said, he didn't know how long the copyright thing was going to take. And she said it could take up to a year. He was like, okay, well, George just barely sent the papers in 3 to 4 weeks ago. She was like, okay, my clients, people that follow my stuff, they have results. And like, you got to meet these timelines. You're going to be selling these products. Like, what you doing? So he shows her the logo and stuff. And he did say that Carmen has been his PR person since after the show. And that she would fill in for Joy to go to all his meetings and his events. Now, I was going to talk about the pictures in the throuple, but we'll talk about it when we get to the end, when they bring it up. So, anywho, I will say I particularly never liked how close Carmen still was with Clifton. Like, it's okay to happen for men and women to be friends and all that. Yeah, they did all meet on the show, and they were all friends on the show. I'm not taking that away from them. I just think you should hold boundaries, right? Like, one of my friends is a good guy friend, and he's married. I don't go out of my way to do nothing. Like, if he calls me to talk to me, that's one thing. But I don't like go out my way to be like, on his side all the time and nothing like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like you should just hold certain boundaries. And so I don't ever want the wife to feel like me as a friend, I'm crossing a line or anything like that. So, any energy given is coming from him and ain't coming from me. Okay. Like, he my boy, love him and all that. But I just try to make sure I hold a tight boundary, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be the one looking messed up and not him. Anyway. So yeah. Anyway, so they talking about, okay, we're gonna have to give this task to Carmen because Joy is dropping the ball, because she has barely filed the paperwork 3 to 4 weeks ago. We ain't got time for that. So Carmen's gonna take over and get it done. And Clifton was talking about, oh yeah, he was feeling like Joy was letting some things go and all that. I was like, really, Clifton? And then you kind of low-key dogging Joy in front of Carmen, but Carmen is friends with Joy. It's just a mess. It's a mess. And I don't trust Carmen as far as I can throw her. Sorry, girl. Anyway, moving on. Then we get to the scene with Ashley's at her house with her assistant, Angela. And Angela showing Ashley all the social media drama with Lil Jamie. So I want to call Lil Jamie something else. Like, what other nickname he got? Jamie Jr., something like that. Anyway, I feel like they need to stop calling him Little Jamie. He's a grown man. He's like 26 years old, isn't he? Anyway, so little Jamie didn't like from last season when DJ Quick made the comments to Ashley about, oh yeah, little Jamie, he was a bad kid that was entitled, and Ashton, he's just an entitled kid. You know how he was saying all that to Ashley because they were trying to get, I think that's the son's name, Ashton. Anyway, their son, he's a teenager and he was doing some things that they weren't happy with, and so that's why he was making the comparisons, right? So little Jamie didn't like that, and I guess people were coming at him about it on social media. So then he came at Quick about it on social media. So Angela's showing Ashley. Ashley is like, oh, she said, y'all people on social media don't got no life, and she ain't about to give y'all attention. I said, okay, girl. So anyway, she called Irina so they can all meet up and squash it. Then we see Winter down in the studio with Black. She making another track, okay? I forgot what the song was about, love or something, because she said she in a state of love. Winter be serving them confessional looks and them wigs and them ponytails. I said, you better come through, Winter. So her sister Candace came to the studio session, and Black went to go take a call. Where is Black's wife, Sherelle? That's what I want to see. I'm really more interested in Black and Sherelle's storyline this season. The one thing I will say about Love and Marriage DC taking such a long break is that it kind of gave everybody a little bit of a clean slate. If I had to think of one positive reason why they did that, is like, now I want to see more Winter. I'm liking Winter. I want to see more Sherelle. I'm liking her. So I'm thinking maybe that was part of Carlos's mindset. But again, we'll never know unless I can get an interview with Carlos King. I'm gonna put that in the atmosphere. Anyway, her sister Candace, a Winter share, she's the oldest of three, so her middle sister Candace came, and I'm glad we're getting to see more Winter's family. And so she's asking how are things going with Yusuf. She's like, girls, you saying love yet or not? So Winter shared with us that after that ice skating date last week, y'all, Yusuf did tell her that he loves her. Okay. And so Winter said, I just love. She's like, yeah, girl, that's your Libra heart. You love. But she's like, what's the difference between this and the last two situations? Like, you rushed into love again? Like, what you doing? And so Winter, well, she's like all the other situations. And Winter's like, there's only been two other situations, girl. Like, what you talking about? And so the sister was like, girl, like, don't play in my face. She's like, you talking about the kids did? And so then she was like, well, that girl, that wasn't rushing into love. She's like, that was like a shotgun thing because both of our parents wanted us to make it right. And Kayla was involved. So that's her oldest daughter. So I'm assuming they got married because she got pregnant, right? So she was all, I'm not counting that. She's all, I'm talking about that last situation I was in, the last couple situations I was in, we kept talking about, engagement and marriage and all these definite things before we really got to know each other. And I don't want to do this with Yusuf. The sister's asking about red flags and all that. And Winter said he's genuinely a good person, but, we'll have to see. That sister was talking about Kevin, and Winter, he was talking about Kevin. She was talking about Kevin. And Winter was avoiding saying Kevin's name. I was like, girl, just go and say Kevin because we saw it last season, girl. Y'all remember how Winter was trying to get that man to sign them divorce papers and he was living with his mama basement? Now that storyline was good. Okay. I was like, where is Kevin? Bring back Kevin. What is Kevin doing? Is he still in the basement? Anyway, that's who that sister was talking about. She wasn't talking about nobody else, okay? Because we all know how Winter rushed into things with Kevin. Anywho, we wish Winter the best, but she ain't with Yusuf no more anyway, so that don't really matter either, y'all. Okay, moving on. Now we get to the Tyler's house, I believe. And DJ Quick and Ashley come over, and Ashley's telling DJ Quick at a confessional, like, just be cool. You did say the word bad. And Ashley didn't think that was a good word choice that he used. So Irina lets Jamie know, like, okay, the Silvers was about to come over. He's like, what you want me to do? She said, make her a drink. So Jamie made Irina a drink. The Silvers came over. They was like, okay, where little Jamie at? So Irina, little Jamie, come on downstairs. So then, of course he's there. So let me just say this. I love all scenes with the Tylers, but especially with little Jamie in it and Big Jamie in it, because little Jamie don't care about them cameras being there, and you could tell. Like, he gonna be real as real can be. To me, he never gives, I'm trying to put on for TV To me, he's very real, and I feel like Jamie is real as well. So I just love the scenes with the Tylers. I think they are the part that make the show still feel real as much as it can feel real. So I appreciate that. Um, and that's the one thing I like about Love and Marriage DC over Huntsville is that they still have that kind of a real feeling to it. It doesn't feel so like manufactured. And they dealing with like real life ish, you know. So anywho, but that's just my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Um, so you know, they like, okay, what's up, fam? What's up, fam? They like, is it fam? Is it fam? And so Irana's like, you know, we brought the Silvers over here so we could address the elephant in the room because you know you and Quick had a social media thing going on. Quick was like, we didn't have no social media thing. He posted something about me on social media. And so Quick doesn't like the fact that Lil Jamie had an issue with him and he ran to social media, put it on there. And Ashley was talking about it earlier. She's talking to Angela, saying that Gen Z, you know, they like to put all their stuff on social media when they got a problem with people, which they do. No offense to my Gen Zers, but y'all do. Y'all handle life very differently than us millennials, okay, and older people. Just saying. Not all of them, though. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, good or bad or indifferent. So that was Quick's issue. Jill Jamie's thing is like, why'd you have to say on camera like I was a bad kid? Like, why you even have to bring me any of that? You didn't even have to mention me. Like, what is the problem? And so then DJ Quick goes on to say what the definition of a bad kid is. And I was like, what does that got to do with anything? And I see the thing, I agree with Jamie said in his confession before they came over. He said he already knows that Quick's gonna come over and try to make him the bad guy. And he was like, but no, DJ Quick needs to take accountability in this situation. And I totally agree with Jamie. I already knew DJ Quick was gonna come on there not taking any accountability because him and his wife don't take accountability for anything they say, and anything they say that's hurtful is your fault that they said it. And I already knew he was going to do exactly what he did when he came over, right? So I'm like, first of all, why are you explaining the definition of what you meant by bad kid? And so DJ Quick is like, first of all, you a man, you not a kid. And if you got a problem with me, like you don't need to go to social media. Like you could hit me up, just like you hit me up to get in the clubs and stuff. You could hit me up and tell me, hey, I got a problem with this and that. And we could have squashed it and all that. And so then he's like, first of all, like I got the bad thing from your dad. Your dad is the one that said it. And so I'm like, what that got to do with anything? And so then Jamie's like, because he's like, I didn't mean to throw you under the bus, but that's what you said. So Jamie's like, oh no, I'll tell you what I said. He's like, yeah, I called him a bum. I said I called you a bum. I called you all this stuff. He's like, I called you worse stuff than that. I don't know why y'all. I was hollering at that part because that Big Jamie don't care. So then he was like, but that's my son. I can call him whatever I want. Like you can't call him that. And so then Irena and Ashley talking about the conversation they had because Ashley, remember what Ashley was telling Irena about the issues they're having with is a civil son named Ashton, the issues they're having with their teenage son. And Irena was saying, you know, don't be like me. I wish I would have been harder on little Jamie when he was that age. Because he's not doing the things now that I want him to do. So Irena was kind of telling her, like, girl, make sure you get your son together now so you don't have the problems that I'm having now with my son as an adult, okay? And so what's his name? Jamie's thing is, okay, but why did you have to compare me or even bring me up into it? And then Jamie's thing, Big Jamie's thing is like, okay, yeah, I do say these things about my son, but like I'm never gonna mention your kids ever. And that's true. Like, yeah, the Silver's kids are little kids, they're minor, so it's a little different. And I do agree, like little Jamie, like you're an adult, you could have hit up DJ Quick and said, hey, I didn't like what you said on TV in this scene. Like, can we talk about it? Like, you didn't have to go to social media with it. That was very immature. And that's the only part I'm going to agree with DJ Quick with. I don't agree with DJ Quick with doing that comparison and calling little Jamie bad. And like little Jamie said, you could have used yourself in that comparison and said, hey, Ashley, like, I don't want our son to end up like I did, you know, do the stuff I was doing. I got shot, I got stabbed and all this stuff. Like, yeah, you could have used yourself. Like, why did you have to compare Lil Jamie and you weren't talking about Lil Jamie? You were talking about the issues with your son. And that's what Lil Jamie's issue was. And so Irena said, we know that you guys have been, a mentor to little Jamie, like DJ Quick, you talked to him, you're a mentor to him and everything like that. But she's like, if my son, he has a problem, he's upset, I'm going to be upset too, because he's my son. And they're like, yeah, we understand that. And so Ashley said, I do think that Quick's, word choice bad was not good. She said he should have said like, excuse me, he should have said little Jamie makes bad decisions, or little Jamie should not have done this or that. But the word choice bad, I know, triggered you. Excuse me, because I used to get triggered like that with my mom, and I've had talks with you about that as well, little Jamie, how my mom used to trigger me and that way and all that stuff. So little Jamie said, okay, like, I hear you. And he did say, you know what, I apologize. And Quick was over there cursing at him. Now let me backtrack, because Quick was over there starting to, get heated and raise his voice and curse at him. And little Jamie's like, why are you cursing at me? You not about to curse at me. Why aren't you cursing at me? He's like, oh, I'm cursing at you because I'm getting mad. Like, Quick, you're older. At the end of the day, no, he's not a kid. He's a grown man, but you're older. You're supposed to be his mentor. And you're over here cursing at him and getting mad when you were the ones that talked about him on TV. And DJ Quick was like, oh yeah, really and truly you mad at everybody because everybody's coming at you on social media because of what I said and what your mama said, your dad has said. Like, everyone has already said this, but then I said it. I'm supposed to be like your mentor, so it was like icing on the cake when I said it. But really, you mad at everybody, but then it got taken out on me. I was like, what? Like, where's the accountability? So he did it, finally kind of apologized, said sorry if I made you feel any type of way. And little Jamie was like, I'm human. Like, what do you want me to do? You're like, how do you expect for me to react? And so then DJ Quick gave him one of them half-ass apologies, like, oh, I'm sorry if I made you feel that way. Well, you put an if, you don't mean it, okay? But little Jamie, he did squash it and they hugged it out. He's like, yeah. And he did say, like, I saw the Silvers as aunt and uncles, and I don't really know now, but he said, he gonna be cool with them again. And side note, little Jamie and Big Jamie had on a red suit in their confessional. I was like, is that the same red suit? Anyway, little Jamie said he done with it. He better go get something to eat. And the Tylers and the Silvers are good. They say they argue like brothers and sisters. All right. But yeah, that scene to me was the best scene of the episode. Let me know whose side are y'all on. Y'all agree with DJ Quick? Y'all agree with Lil Jamie? I didn't like how DJ Quick called Lil Jamie a bad kid. Actually, I don't care that he called him a bad kid because now he's an adult, so that don't matter. What bothered me was the lack of accountability, and you didn't have to bring up Lil Jamie in what you're trying to say about your son. Like, you don't need to put Lil Jamie down to lift your son up. That's the part that bothered me. You could have compared yourself to your son instead, like Lil Jamie said. That's the part that bothered me. And I didn't like Lil Jamie going to social media about it. But that's a lesson learned for him. Anyway, moving on. Let's wrap up this episode, y'all. We see Joy and Clifton. Clifton's getting ready to go do this wrestling thing that DJ Quick has invited him to. He invited all the fellas. And so he said he ain't gonna do too much. He just had the back surgery and all that. So then he's telling Joy how he met up with Carmen, and Carmen saying, they need to do this and that with the PR and get things moving, and getting the copyright done. And Joy saying, because he was like, feels like, it's been a lot on your plate. And Clifton said his confessional, like, to be honest, I feel like Joy wasn't really communicating well about it, and she wasn't holding up her end of the deal, and she wasn't doing what she needed to do. I'm like, Clifton, did y'all not just move into this house? This girl sings overseas half of the year. Is Joy still singing on the cruise ships in Mexico? And not to mention, y'all filming this show, and you just had back surgery, and this lady is nursing you back to health, but you want her to make sure all your beard oil business is taken care of, and she's trying to plan a wedding and keep it a secret from Ashley, who's gonna tell all the business anyway. Please get out of here, sir. I could not even take him seriously with that. So anyway, he letting her know, like, we got to get this thing moving. Like, I know you had it a lot on your plate. She's like, well, no, we just had a lot. Life was life, and like, we were moving and this and that. And so then she's like, well, the nice thing is, like, well, while you wait to get this copyright done, then you can still be selling it. So she's like, but he said, oh, but can I? Because Carmen said that you could be, you got to be careful with that because you could get sued and all this stuff. So basically, she feels like, she gonna take it from you. She's gonna handle it. And so the way he said it was like he was like scared to really ask her to tell her like Carmen for take over. So Joy was like, okay, cool, she got it, she can take it. And in her confessional, she's like, well, Carmen, she can have this ish, and she's gonna take over because she is a doer. And she's like, the throuple, we do push each other, but you could tell Joy was irritated and annoyed with it. And both of them to me were being passive aggressive in the scene, but I'm sure they had talked about it before we saw it on camera, so whatever. Anywho, um, then we get down to the wrestling thing. So, before we get to the wrestling match, we do see DJ Quick talking to Ashley, and Ashley's on her bike, and DJ Quick like to see her go up and down on the exercise bike and how she be moving and all that. So, he's letting her know that he's about to go to do this wrestling thing. He said during the pandemic, he was looking at ways to expand his portfolio. So he did his homework and decided to get into wrestling because it seemed to be really lucrative. So he has I guess it's a wrestling league, is what he has. I'm not 100% sure. And they have a gym they're going to go do the wrestling moves at and train with the wrestlers. Okay. So she's like, oh, who all is going? He's like, oh, the men are going. We got a group text with the men. So it's going to be Jamie, Black, Clifton. And she was like, oh, you're inviting Clifton? And he's like, well, I didn't invite Clifton. I invited all the guys. And he just happened to be in the group. And he got the group text. And all the men sent a thumbs up. And I was like, okay. And if you're inviting Clifton, like what? Like, what is it to Ashley? She acting like he said he inviting Joy. Like, girl, stop. And then the way Quick is like trying to like, oh no, I'm not inviting Clifton. He just happened to be coming. Like, no, you invited Clifton. Also, production said all the men had to go to this event. Let's be real. And so he's like, well, Clifton is Jamie's friend. So, we gotta make sure Clifton gonna make sure his friend Clifton goes. And so Ashley's like, oh yeah, anywhere Jamie goes, Cliff the big red dog's gonna follow. Like, girl, did it really take all that? And then he was like, okay, you want me to send Clifton a text and say you can't come? Like, what you want me to do? And then she was like, no, I just find it weird that, you would hang out with somebody who said that their wife is jealous of your wife or all this stuff. Like, girl, really? You're that petty? Really, Ashley? Like, grow up. But I like Ashley, but it's when she do that stuff that she just irritates me so much. And I generally like all the ladies on this show. Actually, I used to wear Winter out. But I like Winter now. I like all the ladies, but Ashley just be working my last nerve. Like, girl, let it go. Please let it go. I'm even willing to give Sherelle a chance. I'm looking for her to see what she's about to bring. So I want the show to win. Anywho, what's his name? Quick said he not about to hang out with Clifton because he don't really know him like that. Anyways, stop being scared of your wife, Quick. So then they get down to the wrestling thing. Big Jamie's like, what he got me at? Like, what is this thing he got me over here doing? He's like, I didn't know we was gonna be really doing the moves. I thought I was gonna body slam real quick and leave. And so then Clifton said he ain't gonna be doing all that because he just hurt, he had his back surgery. Black said he thought he was coming to watch a wrestling match. He didn't know he was gonna be in it like that. So they had to do these wrestling moves where they had to slam to the ground on the back, onto the mat or whatever, the ring on their backs. Clifton said he ain't gonna be doing that because of the surgery. Jamie was like, man, what we gonna be doing? He's like, well, I'll show DJ Quick because I'm an athlete. That's the difference between me and him. I'm an athlete. I was like, you an athlete, Jamie? All right. Black said, so Black was getting ready to Black was like, oh, this is no joke. I don't know what I came here for. So then they had to body slam each other. So one of the professionals, so he was like, yeah, do it to me for real. Then he saw the look in the guy's eye. He was like, oh, never mind, not that serious. He's like, not that serious with it. So then he did it. So Clifton said he didn't want to be sitting there looking like no punk. So he's like, he could at least body slam somebody. So he body slammed somebody. Then he told the producers, don't show that on camera because the doctor's not going to be too happy with that. Okay, Clifton. And if you trying to get some disability insurance or some money, some work comp and stuff like that, you can't be doing stuff like that on camera. Okay, they watch every move you make, Clifton. You should have been out there with some crutches and sitting down. Matter of fact, if you trying to get paid, now if you ain't trying to get paid, then I guess you ain't got to worry about it. Anywho, The men get done doing all that, and they start talking about working with their wives when it comes to business. DJ Quick said he recommend don't do it, but it's possible. It's just hard to find the balance because you're gonna always bring work home. And him and Ashley, I guess, have a nightclub together, and she be trying to spend $100,000 doing this and that, but he's like, okay, but it don't make sense if we ain't gonna make the money back, so we not doing that. And so Black said he doesn't believe in the idea that business and pleasure. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying so hard not to burp on camera right now. So that's the only thing when you do these recordings like this is I'm not trying to go back and edit it. Anyway, so he said he doesn't believe that business and pleasure is separate because you're not gonna do business with somebody that's you're not, or business and personal. Sorry, not pleasure. Because you're gonna be personal with the person you're doing business with. All right, anyway. Then Clifton explains the whole thing about Carmen and how Carmen's been his PR person, and she's been standing in for Joy, and Joy he got to have her take over because Joy was dropping the ball. And so Jamie's like, oh, is that gonna be okay with Joy, especially the way you met? And so then Black was like, what you mean the way they met? And so then Clifton explains like, oh yeah, we was all on the show together, Ready to Love, and I used to date Carmen, but then I fell for Joy. And basically the way they said it was like Carmen was his ex and Joy is his new woman now. And so then Jamie's all, yeah, Raina would not be going for that. She is a jealous type. Black is like, oh no, not my wife would not be doing that. Quick is like, oh, so you the man out here. You the man out here. And so he was like, no, not like that, not like that. He's like, well, Joy and Carmen are friends also. And so then Black was like, it's looking like a throuple to me. Big Jamie said in his confessional, like, Clifton a smooth player, but look like he's gonna have some trouble on his hands. And so they was like, oh, it's a throuple. He's like, no, it ain't like that, ain't like that. And so then they were showing all the pictures, right? I was never, like I said before, I was never comfortable with how much Carmen would be right there, especially when Joy would be down in Mexico singing, and you would see all them pictures with Carmen and Clifton hanging out. And I was thinking the same thing. Where is Joy? Where is Joy? So I'm glad they're finally addressing this because I used to be thinking this. And Black's in his confessional, like, yeah, it's looking like a throuple. He's like, nah, I'm not. This is not only a one-time occurrence. I didn't see it all on the social media where you always see the three of them together. It's everybody saying it's a throuple. Okay, so Black said he didn't heard and seen it all before. Okay, they gonna get more into the whole throuple thing next week. Y'all let me know what y'all thought of this episode. Like I said, I thought it was much better than the premiere one last week, but I guess we had to clean up the loose ends. Anyway, y'all, please do not hesitate to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Also, if you're a Ready to Love fan, check out my latest review for Ready to Love Fort Worth. This is season 9, episode 4, I believe. Check that out if you're a Married at First Sight fan. The review for this week's episode is up as well. And I'll talk to y'all again soon. Bye.